On the way back to the office this week, I thought, well, where would I be if I hadn't been following all the stories, conspiracy, and fringe ideas? And where would I be if I hadn't been involved in the conservative hour and all these other groups looking to make sense out of it all? The pandemic narrative, shutdown, and political theater. It's all been very, very destabilizing. Many people have not been paying attention, but we have. In fact, most people apparently are watching sports and entertainment and are oblivious to what's going on. So, where would I be if it wasn't for all this distraction? I'd probably be volunteering for the Trump campaign. It's better than sports and it's way more entertaining. And it's the best way to destabilize all the destabilization because it means actually doing something. Welcome. Welcome to Conservative Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. At Conservative Hour, some people say we don't know what we're talking about. And that's probably partially true, but that's the whole point. If we were all watching sports and entertainment, we probably wouldn't be wrong about anything, but you're probably not going to learn much either. Do you ever hear a self-proclaimed genius tell you about something new they just learned? We've learned a lot. We've learned a lot of good stuff here at Conservative Hour. We've learned from political insider operatives that it's seldom about doing the right thing and more about winning elections and consolidating power. We've also learned that in many ways, both political parties really don't want much to change because it's all working pretty good for them. We've learned practical things like the word woke was originally a Black term, meaning the government was out to get them. We've also learned that most gun deaths in this country are suicide, and that talking about election fraud can be seen as a mechanism to suppress voting. We all know what we know and cling to our facts. Beyond that, we have our beliefs. And then beyond that, conspiracy and fringe thought. This week, Bill O'Reilly dissected the Hunter Biden testimony by Devin Archer. Bill started out by sharing an important idea. Bill said, we don't need the right-wing whack jobs or the conspiracy nuts because we have enough evidence to prove what's been going on. And what's been going on is racketeering, extortion, bribery, and treason. Bill Hermanson at the General Assembly meeting last week put it in a similar way. He said, we can all look around and see the physical and mental damage, evidence of all that's been going on. While everyone was watching sports and entertainment, we got sold an idea that we live in a democracy. In a republic, people rule over you on your behalf. And in a democratic republic, we elect people to rule over us. But we live in a representational republic. We elect people to vote for us on our behalf. To some, it all sounds like semantics, but this is exactly what Bill O'Reilly and Bill Hermanson are talking about. We have all the evidence we need. The will of the people is ignored. Elected officials operate from a predetermined agenda, and office holders better themselves at the detriment of their constituents. It's very common to put ourselves in the center of the universe with our facts and knowledge. Beyond that, our beliefs. And beyond that, conspiracy and fringe. This is also the far off place where most of us put God, way out there in the ether and on the fringe. President Obama said, we're in our small circle, clinging to our guns and Bibles. That's very belittling. When you get to belittling and name calling, well, then you've lost the argument and the conversation has ended. We all want documentation and facts to prove our case. In a court of law, the case is made for and against the charge, and then a ruling. Beyond that, somewhere is the truth. God is the reality of the truth and the center, And our objective reality is the circle around that, where we experience the facts and circumstances of our physical existence. And beyond that is us. We're out there on the fringe. God is infinite, and his way of expanding on that is through us and through all the crazy shit we come up with. From God's perspective, we're the ultimate conspiracy. So, what is our strategy? What are we supposed to do? Just sit around and talk about it, or are we supposed to be actually doing something? At the start of the pandemic narrative, what would you have done differently? And where would you be now? When I signed up as a volunteer for the Trump campaign this week, I was asked to check boxes of things I would do: canvas, poll watch, work at events, and knock on doors. I was taken aback by the idea of knocking on doors, especially here in Chicago for the Trump campaign. But then, ironically, that was the first box I checked because I think I know that, intuitively, truth be known, probably the end is very, very near. And the picture of Jesus in that famous painting with the lantern in one hand and the other hand knocking on the door came to my mind. I'm going to be knocking on the door. Have you found Jesus? And are you going to vote for Mr. Trump? Maybe we are all ill-informed and maybe we're all stupid, but I'd rather be stupid and do something than do nothing and just watch TV. There's a lot of evidence that sitting around and doing nothing, watching TV is really, really bad for your health. We have our God-given rights, and those are protected by the Constitution. We have our hope and then resolve, and then the opportunity to embody it through action. When Hirohito bombed Pearl Harbor, he said he feared he had awakened a sleeping giant and filled him with terrible resolve. I don't know if knocking on doors is what that means, but I may be knocking on your door soon. And that place that more of us are probably in today, well, that place is probably the place where we're opening the door. If you would like to join us at Conservative Hour, Conservative Coffee Hour is every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.